Hello listeners, this is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening, smartly, to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard! Kai Havertz in the Champions League final! Ivanovic! Yes. In the middle, it's just behind him, but it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver! Matic takes the net off!
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
we're welcoming back a favourite. You love it, I love it. It's winners and losers time. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some lions. I've got Ollie, I've got Chris. It's the Friday show on a Thursday. Of course. Most importantly though, so what are you guys looking forward to this weekend? Could even be tomorrow. Could be.
You know how much pressure it is to come up with something every single, twice a week?
It is.
Well, you have a highlight to pick from the previous weekend and something you're looking forward to the week. I mean, for me, easy. The Olympic opening ceremonies tomorrow night.
That's a good one.
Every single one's a true spectacle. It's going to be fun 2 weeks. And I just saw something else that got me a little excited. Was I got bored, was on FOTMob and saw that the Bruno's Magpies lost 3-0 to Copenhagen. So, first of all, get in. Second, Bruno's Magpies. Never heard of them. Apparently, they
sounds like a business, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Can you guess the country they're from?
Bruno's Magpies. Some of the South African teams are named weird stuff. Are they from there?
They are not. They are managed by a Mr. Nathan Rooney. Don't think he's any relation.
Irish, maybe?
No, Gibraltar.
Oh, okay.
I think you could have gave us 100 guesses and we wouldn't have landed on Gibraltar.
Well, the best... he's won. I know why it's called this, but Gibraltar's Premier Cup competition is called the Rock Cup. I was like, that's so cool.
Isn't it only played between two teams every single time?
No, there's 12 teams in the league.
Okay.
Big league.
There's one island somewhere where two teams
is it
play
like
each
the
other
Isle of
back
Man,
and forth.
Isle of Skye, Isle of Man?
Something like that. There's two teams that play each other just back and forth for the
Isle
same
of Wight,
trophy.
all the Isles. I'm not leaving any of them out. Chris, what are you looking forward to?
To be honest with you, I'm kind of looking forward to a bit of a rest.
Quite
Had a busy week.
Oh.
I've been doing a lot of coaching this week, and this weekend I haven't really, after Friday, I haven't really got any. So I'm quite looking forward to just having a little mini break.
That's fair.
That's what you wanted, though. You needed a little holiday to get over your holiday.
This is it. So this is my mini holiday,
Yeah.
or as Gary Neville calls it, a mini retirement.
I love that so much. That is still like sometimes I go on mini retirement, mate. That's a holiday. Shut the fuck
Yeah, it's
up.
called a holiday, mate.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Right. Before we dive into news, there's no Shevva shout-outs. No, not this week. But I do want to shout out to the entirety of the USA and the entire UK for making us the number one Chelsea pod in both countries this week. Wow. I got a little bit emotional when that email dropped in our inbox.
I was shocked. I was properly shocked when you.
Yeah, considering it's us, it's like no. Someone nicely. They weren't rude. They went. I'm pretty sure it's London is blue, and I thought the same. And I looked on the Apple chart. They're not there. They're not above us. So, wow, that's an honour. Truly,
I think it's pretty. Like, as a lot of you who listen to this show will know, we don't actually we don't make any money off this show whatsoever.
No,
and so it's just like it's such a nice thing to know that we can crest like the hill of some of the biggest podcasts in the world even now. In terms of Chelsea, in terms of sport, and we just do this for fun, and that's great.
We truly did a Vincent Kompany. We fell upwards. Fell upwards. It's amazing. We somehow fell up the top of the mountain. Got to keep bringing you the top quality content. I promise. We will. With that, news. Let's check out the elevator of Chelsea news. Filip Jorgensen is a possible replacement for Georgi Petrovic. Chelsea are hoping to sign 2 or 3 more players, ideally by the end of July. Amari Kellerman is missing from Chelsea's pre-season tour of America as he's still carrying an injury from his time at Villa. He's expected back soon, though. He's expected back soon. Positivity there. Trevor Chalobah is really disappointed and sad about the whole situation. He thought he did his best for Chelsea in the second part of last season after coming back from an injury. Obviously, he's not in the pre-season tour squad. Mikhailo Mudryk now looks like Sid from Toy Story. And finally, Filip Jorgensen has agreed personal terms with Chelsea, and I'm a very happy boy, and everyone else loved that joke.
Oh, really?
That was great.
Jamie, innit? Yeah. What from this week's news grabbed your attention?
It's got to be Jorgensen, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be the big news. Like, we've apparently agreed terms. It's going to be about, I think they said it was about £20.9 million or about 25 million euros. It's not not a stellar fee, not a terrible fee. It seems like we're determined to just kind of go down this road of having like goalkeepers who aren't world class when we buy them and hoping we can kind of turn them into something amazing. So like, I'm not gonna be upset about it. I'm gonna just like roll with the punches. Hope he does well for us.
Yeah, look. I do know he started last season raw. He was very, very raw, but his second half was bloody good. I mean, he went from average to one of the top 10 in La Liga. And he just
That's a Nicholas Jackson kind of ride.
This is exactly what I've got down here. I put, funnily enough, similar to Nicholas Jackson, same club. He just flourished out of nowhere because he just needs, he's a decent keeper. Now you could say, but Chelsea need top class keepers. I agree. But the front line, the back line in front of him last season for Villarreal were fucking dreadful. No, I mean, absolutely. I'm surprised he didn't concede more goals because they might have just not had a backline. It was awful, and even their fans will admit it. Chris, I know you're so excited about this signing for me, less for yourself. But what do you think? What do you think about this whole saga of goalkeepers?
To be honest with you, I'm struggling with it, but I think we have got to sort of change our perspective now, a bit like what Ollie just said. I would have loved for us to sign an actual really good goalkeeper, but it seems as though we are going down the road of we don't sign players who are already good. We sign players who might be good at some point. He's young. I've seen a lot of people putting stock in the fact that he made the most saves in La Liga last year.
He had to with that backline.
I was going to say, like, because they almost
really
got relegated. But what I've heard some people say he was kind of a reason why they didn't get relegated.
100%.
And that seems like a positive thing to me.
Yeah, it definitely is. And there are positives with him. I think the concern is when you make the most amount of saves in the league, it means you're always busy. Like he could come to Chelsea and he might only have to make one save a game.
You've got to concentrate, isn't he?
It's so much harder for goalkeepers. Like you look at Pickford, for example. Pickford was outstanding at Sunderland when he was facing 400 shots a game. You're going to make a good save at some point during that many shots in a match. And even Pickford his form dropped off when he went to Everton and faced less shots. Because the problem is with goalkeepers when you sign them for better teams, if someone has a shot and they make a mistake and they let in a soft goal, that might be the only shot they face that game. So that's all.
And it could be a difference between winning a game and losing it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you're a goalkeeper at a team that's like Jorgensen was at Villarreal last year and you're facing 20, 25 shots a game, someone at some point is going to pick out, he did make that one good save though, and everyone's going to go, yeah, that's true. If you facing 2 shots a game and you let one of them in,
you suddenly only have a 50% success rate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It is completely different. My concern with him more than anything would be the fact that he's so young and he's already in a team that is so young. But if people want to end on a positive, he can't be any worse than Robert Sanchez.
No,
that's very true.
I
think I've seen that a lot. One of his biggest pitfalls I've seen is that from what I've had a look at is whenever he makes a save, he seems to parry it back out into the box, which is
that's a problem in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, that will cost you. And so
Yeah.
that's my biggest hang up with him, really. Apparently, he's pretty good with his feet. He's a decent shot stopper, but
He's
not all
already
saves
better
are
than both our keepers then.
not all saves are created equal, is what I'm saying. What I'm getting at. You have to be careful about that. But hopefully, someone like Ben Roberts, who is a really good goalkeeping coach and quite highly thought of, will be able to do some good work with him.
Yeah. I've got one random question. Do you guys get bored of just transfers now? Because you used to get, I feel I got excited when we signed a player, but now we sign a lot of players and it's not a big deal anymore. We could get, we could get Haaland tomorrow and I'll just go, oh, another one.
But
cool.
you know why? Social media killed the transfers because this Jorgensen deal, we wouldn't even know that it was happening yet normally.
That is
Back
true.
in the day, you wouldn't have known this was happening until you've seen it on the yellow ticker on Sky Sports.
You know
that
what?
was the only time you knew.
The best. Yeah, go on, Ali.
I was going to say, and the thing is as well is like now, especially with social media, everyone already has kind of makes up their mind on a player before they even sign for you.
Yeah.
So like, how can you be excited for it if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be fair, this kind of ties in. It's a little bit left field, but it kind of ties in. The worst thing to happen to footballers was compilation videos. Because I seen one of Jorgensen on Twitter the other day about his best saves in La Liga last year. And you watch the video and he looks really good. And the first comment underneath was by someone who's actually got a brain and said, yeah, but anyone can look good if you show me all their highlights.
Oh, yeah.
Show me the goals he conceded, and then we'll judge whether he's a good keeper. And I thought that's so true. When you're looking at a keeper, it's not the saves he makes, it's the ones he don't I want to be worried about.
I mean, like, can he do something about it? Should he have done things better? Like, for example, like, you know, some of the goals they conceded Villarreal, some of them were from those same parries back out into the box that he made on a save. So he's kind of saved it, but not really, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the last time a signing came out of nowhere and I was like, oh, I actually made a noise was the 12th of June 2014. Who was it?
12th of June 2014.
I don't know, was it like David Luiz coming back or something?
No.
Fabregas?
It was Cesc. I remember the photo and I'm like,
yeah,
what?
To be fair,
the photo is
I was
iconic.
shocked about that one.
We're getting Fabregas. I remember where I was. I remember the TV I was looking on. I was just blown away. I was like, Cesc Fabregas. Bloody hell. And he was good. Very good from day one. He didn't need time to get used to the league. He'd already been in it, to be fair. Anyway, it's time for the first pre-season match report, sponsored by Chelsea's pre-season toys, £4.99 per game. £4.99. Yeah,
which none of us paid.
£5 too much.
None of us paid. I was asleep, to be fair. When someone had said on the Discord, did anyone feel stressed throughout the game? I was like, no, I was asleep.
I was having a really bad nightmare.
Winners and losers are back. Yes, they're back, baby. Oh yeah. We kick off though, as always, with the winners. Who you got? How many you got? Chris?
I've got two.
I got three.
I'll allow that. I've got three as well. You know what, Chris? You've got two. I'm curious which one. What one you've got first up?
I've got Nkunku first.
Oh
yeah, me too.
I didn't. Okay.
He scored.
He did.
Yeah. That was literally it for me as well. Got a goal.
Well done. You've earned your bonus this week.
And again, I just think with Nkunku, the sort of goal it was is the sort of goals that don't dry up. Nkunku has this very good natural goal scoring instinct about being in the right place at the right time in the box, knowing where the ball is going to fall. And you don't lose that. Remember Papi Cisse at Newcastle?
Yeah.
When he had that season where everything he hit went in. But you knew that wasn't going to last. And then the season after he was shit. And Nkunku isn't like that. He doesn't score worldies. He just scores goal scorers goals, which is why I'm so convinced that if he stays fit, he'll get a lot of goals.
Yeah, I don't see the big... Someone had said, it's not a great guy. It doesn't matter. Costa didn't score.
Fox in the box. He's fastest to react.
Diego Costa.
What do you want?
Rarely scored good goals.
Yeah, he scored a couple, didn't he? West Brom at home, Holloway.
And was he the one that he scored
Holloway goal was good.
He scored the goal as well against Burnley to complete the move, didn't he?
Yeah,
But that's the thing. It's none of them you'd put in a highlight reel, but that's not the point. If he scores, I don't care. I don't care if that
exactly.
happens.
And another
Goal's
thing,
a goal.
just go jumping back as well about what Chris was saying about highlight videos. A goal compilation of Diego Costa doesn't actually tell you everything about his game.
No, that's true. That's very true. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'll line up my first winner. You might have him, Marc Guiu. Is it Guiu?
Yeah, I had him too,
It's
but
Guiu,
I didn't know how to say his name. He has done a video on it, but I forgot what he said.
It's Guiu. I'm pretty sure.
That sounds about right. That does sound.
GUI makes a G noise and then an ooh. There you go.
We'll get. Hang on, I've got a YouTube video. Here we go. Oh, well, that's a bit nice. Yeah, here we go. Yeah,
Come on.
come on. Oh, Guiu.
Oh,
You.
you. Okay.
Oh,
So it's
you.
like one syllable.
Cool.
You.
You.
Yeah, very nice
Right.
velvety voice that man had. Anyway,
Enjoyed that.
before last night, I can't even tell you how many minutes of Marc Guiu I had watched. It was none. Okay, 0 minutes. But last night, I was impressed from what I saw. Guiu was arguably the brightest performer for me. He ran the line with energy, pressing, reminiscent of Jamie Vardy. You know, if we're going to do Leicester comparisons there. I mean, he showcased what he's good at. Positive impression for future games. Do you want more? Well, this is pre-season, and I struggle to write a winners and losers list, let alone deep, meaningful paragraphs.
It's hard, isn't it? Because it's just not that deep, is it?
He could suck against Celtic for all I know. I have no. Is it Celtic next? Probably.
I don't remember seeing him get a shot on goal.
He got an assist.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. I mean, that's better than some players yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the point. I don't take stock too heavy. I'm not going to go. Oh, he assisted in Kunku's goal. There we go. I've pulled it up. But he was decent, you know. And I'm more than happy to keep seeing. He could be our next player. That's he's 18. He could be our 10-year, decade-long search for a goal scorer over. Chris, why was he yours?
Similar reasons to you, really. Thought he worked really hard, pressed really well, ran the channels well. Strong lad for 18. Plays well with his back to goal.
Yeah, he's got a big frame, isn't he?
Yeah. Just everything really that you'd want from a centre forward. We didn't get a chance to see what he was like in front of goal, but he's another one where some people, you know, now after 45 good minutes against Wrexham are getting carried away. But he's another one where I just hope we make the right decision if it's a loan or sticking around the squad.
I think he stays.
Well, he might as well, because the options are limited, and I'd rather just have him around the team and at least be an option to play rather than going out on loan to fucking Le Havre or something, playing 6 games and then recalling him in January and having to send him somewhere else. So I'd rather just keep him, to be fair.
I mean, Nottingham Forest could be a great move.
No, that's not a good move for anyone. I think it's an interesting thing with Guiu, isn't it? Because you got Broja, who's technically ahead of him, but you would assume Broja's going this summer, surely.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, he came on yesterday. I didn't know. If I hadn't looked on the actual app to see who was subbed in, I wouldn't have noticed he was on the pitch.
I think didn't he get the assist? Didn't he get the assist for the Ugachukwu goal?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but generally speaking, I thought 18-year-old Guiu
he did.
had a much better game than 23-year-old Broja.
In fairness, though, it wasn't a real assist. It was one of those that shouldn't actually count. It was fumbling around the box, and he went to tackle the bloke, tackled him. It fouled to Ugachukwu, put it in. It's not an assist.
Wow. Ollie, you haven't even had a chance to say a winner yet, and Chris is already out of winners. So who have you got?
My first one, my second winner, sorry, because my first one was in Kunku, is Wesley Fofana. Because that's the first 45 minutes of football he's completed in about a year and a half. You know, so it's really nice to see him get back out on the grass again. There's nothing too deep, there's nothing too crazy about his performance. I wouldn't have thought, but it's just nice to see him play again. I've
got, you know who I had? I had Romeo Lavia, because he was starting that first Chelsea game after a year.
Showed he was a footballer.
Yeah, he looked comfortable. He was deeper. He was deeper than I expected him to be. But hey, he worked alongside Reece. He did all right. There was some hesitation, but overall, I was like, yeah, solid, promising. We signed you last summer, and we're only properly getting full. I can't believe that's his first full game.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
That's
Crikey.
worrying. Who were the rest of yours, Ollie? Because my last one's a minor one, but
My last one is a minor one as well. It's just American fans, American Chelsea fans. It's just nice that they got to see a game. Just nice that they got to go out there and actually watch the team that, like we in the UK have the fortune to be able to see in person almost whenever we would want to. So
that's fair. My final winner was no injuries, not a single injury. I counted them.
That's a big winner.
I counted them. That is a W. That's a W in the box. That is better than a win.
How many games of pre-season do we have left?
4.
All right, 4 to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Losers. I did find 3. Only one is a player. So there you go, listeners. Chris.
Sorry.
Fair enough. Ollie.
3.
Fair. Chris, you got to kick it off. Everyone wants to hear it.
Well, I do just want to sort of address something first, right? Because I know some people in comments and things have been bringing up about not being as positive as we should be. I don't want anyone to read too much into winners or losers from pre-season because I think it's ridiculous. I don't think you should read anything into pre-season at all. If you're absolutely shit, it means nothing. If you look like the best team in the world, it means nothing.
Because we've seen Chelsea do both and then not do that in the actual season.
So it makes no difference. My first loser is Ben Chilwell. I just think
everyone agrees with you.
He looks like someone whose Chelsea days are numbered. Do you know what?
Shadow of his former self, doesn't he?
He really. It's so sad though because I actually really like Chilwell, and when he was fit and playing, he was a great left back. But since all his injuries, he just seems like someone who can't get it back. He came on, the left-hand side looked really weak. One of the goals he's out of position for, marking too narrow at the back post. It just looks like someone who you think, yeah, you can't play at this level anymore. I hope really for his sake that he gets a move somewhere where he can go and play every week, maybe in a less pressured team and get back to some sort of form.
Would be the best player in the Championship.
Yeah.
But that might be where he needs to go now.
Wow. Bloody hell, no one's going to touch those salaries.
No,
not for 200 grand a week.
No chance. My only player loser was Leslie Ugochukwu because the poor dude's had a rough few weeks. I mean, made the reserves for the Olympic squad. And then, yes, I know he redeemed himself with the equaliser, but he made 2 significant errors that led to Wrexham's equaliser. And his overall performance for me, if I removed the goal and someone's going to go, yeah, but he scored. But it was disappointing. It's just one game and that's it. And like I said, none of these are very serious takes. I'm not like, he's awful. No. One game.
In fairness, though, how stupid is it to have someone on your pre-season tour who you've told isn't going to be here?
I know. How stupid is it to not take people who you think might be there?
Of course, he's not gonna be as into it. He's thinking, well, I'm not gonna be here. So what's the point of this?
He's thinking, I don't want to get injured before I go to another club for the year.
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous. Like, you are right, everything you said about him. I don't think he had a great 45 minutes, goal aside. But I just think I think this whole pre-season with the whole Chalobah situation, taking players who aren't going to be here, seems very poorly planned.
Yeah, I don't like that either, especially like do you remember a few years ago when we had Tuchel? It was the first season of Clear Lake under Tuchel in pre-season, and we did this same thing we're doing now. We went to 5 different states to play 5 different games across like 15 days, something like that, like across 2 weeks or so, playing every 3 days. And I remember Tuchel at the time saying that it made the players really tired.
Yeah.
And I do worry if we've just kind of ignored that idea a little bit.
I'm not shocked by that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Of course we did that. That's very us, isn't it?
Well, I mean, and we decided to do it again.
I'm trying to check now who we played, what fields, because I remember I'm sure we had FedEx Field that day.
Yeah, I think we did.
I detested that. I'm just checking. Here we are. 21-22 was our pre-season. And we played.
It was when we were out in LA and the Sterling was signed.
Yeah.
Stuff like it was all. It was
when
back
we did
when
all
we
the
all had a lot of hope
in America.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it it wasn't the Mind series, was it? No, because that had been over here. No, that was over here. Pre-season friendlies. No, they were all here because COVID year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were still doing that. So it was the season after, till September. Let's have a peek. And we played America, Charlotte FC. Oh my word, I remember reviewing Charlotte FC game. And then we got beat by Arsenal. Yes. Yeah. We played
is that the one where we got beat like 4-1 by Arsenal?
4-0.
Yeah,
in score.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We did get 4 yellows.
That's a good indicator of of what happens when a preseason goes exactly how you think it's going to go.
Yeah.
We played in Charlotte, Orlando, and Paradise, which is, I believe, Vegas. Yeah, it is. It's Vegas. So there we go. Ollie, who was a loser for you?
Much similar to what Chris said. Actually, is it's every Chelsea fan who is microanalyzing the whole club after one preseason game. It's just not that deep yet. Wait until at least like game week 5 before you start a pile on or decide the squad is like the second coming of 2010 Barca. Like you got it. Like listen, I'm one of the people who jumps on down people's throats the quickest on this show sometimes, and even I'm saying you got to give it some time before you with the pile on, man, because it's just not productive. You're not going to learn anything, and you're not going to do anything differently if you just hold. Just know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
I've got to jump on because mine's it's the same pretty much, the overreaction. While look, a 2-2 draw with Wrexham might feel like a stumble, but you got to put things in perspective. Look, Man United lost to Rosenborg, City fell to Celtic, Liverpool were beaten by Preston North End.
Crucially, Roberto De Zerbi's Marseille lost as well.
I mean, if pre-season results directly predicted success, then forget Lampard is a no one. Ross Barkley would be the greatest Chelsea player of all time. No one could tell me otherwise because that man in pre-season was the GOAT.
You can't top pre-season Ross. Pre-season Ross Barkley is a really good example of what happens when there is only one player on the pitch actually trying.
I believe if we went through all our old pre-season episodes, it would always be Ross Barkley was a winner this week. Oh wow, what a player! Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it this season? I think he might. No, he won't.
Spoilers, he won't.
Look, pre-season, it's just all about evaluating talent, build that fitness, fine-tune the tactics. Don't panic. Don't panic over one. Again, I refer to it. Spurs went unbeaten, very impressive in their pre-season many a year back, and they were nearly relegated before Harry Redknapp came in because they sucked. Just treat it as a fun spectacle. That's $4.99. Chris, run out your losers. Who are they?
Well, I've got Wesley Fofana.
Didn't look great.
Do you know what? Do you know why he's on here? He's on here for one moment.
Ooh.
The goal.
Yeah, it was poor for the goal.
The second goal, where he is just pointing at the goalkeeper. The bloke is running to have a shot. He doesn't come over to engage him. He's just pointing at the goalkeeper. And then the bloke puts it in and he sort of looks at the keeper like, I did try and warn you he was going to shoot. Go and do something, mate. You're the defender. Don't just stand there going, he's going to have a shot, I reckon. Yeah, awful.
With my powers of analysis.
You know what's great? I've just pulled that highlight up and you're right. He's just pointing
He's just pointing at the keeper.
He fully
What's
does
he pointing
as
at? I don't understand. What are you pointing at?
He's trying to defend him with the force, I think.
Yeah, but if you want to make, if it's worse, it gets worse. I've just looked at it again. He points, but he doesn't look at the keeper at any point.
No, he's just looking at the player with the ball.
It's like he saw him and went, ball.
Maybe that's what. Maybe that's what Fafana was doing. He's like, shoot a goal now, quick! You'll score. Oh,
Yeah,
Wesley.
terrible.
Oh, it's dreadful. Chris, do you have any more, or are you out?
No, I've got one more.
Go on.
Right, and this is why I
Oh.
wanted to say that thing at the start about people not jumping on this, because I've got Enzo Maresca.
I do as well.
Wow!
Oh,
what?
thank you,
What?
Ollie.
No,
Right, and I'll tell you, there's a few reasons for me. Reason number one is we've spoke about having a good start. Drawing 2-2 with Wrexham is not a good start. Now, I don't personally care about the result. I don't think it's meaningless. However, you've seen the fan reaction. The majority do read into it. They shouldn't,
of course
but
they
they
do.
do. And that's the problem. So he's already got one shit result under his belt. The main concern I have is I don't think we looked to be doing a lot different than what we was doing at the back end of last season under Poch. It wasn't like, oh my God, this looks completely different. It looked very similar to what we was doing at the end of the season.
But we were good then.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We had a good first 45 in the game against Wrexham.
But it looked very similar to what we was doing at the back end of last season, except for playing less risky passes. And if you remember, sort of pre-Poch, the Poch, one of our main problems was we couldn't score goals. So if the opposition scored, you thought we've probably lost this because we're not going to score. The one thing that Poch did well, and you can like him, you can hate him, you can be indifferent on him, but you can't deny he got us scoring goals. Every game, you thought we've got a chance of scoring goals. So if we went a goal down, you thought we can come back here.
Was that him or Palmer?
Well, no, because everyone he got Jackson getting goals.
Okay, fair enough.
Like our attacking play was so much better. The team was better to watch.
Yeah, I can see your point there.
Maresca is a possession-heavy manager, right? That everyone says that we want, but all that's going to do is we're not going to score as many goals because our forwards aren't talented enough to do it. The reason why they got goals is because we was playing fast counter-attack into space football. You put these like in possession-based football, they won't score goals.
I do worry about that. You
problem.
stick someone like, I don't know, Nicholas Jackson in front of the defender instead of instead of having him run behind the defender and wide and dragging the play and running the channels. If you have him just stand up to a defender in front of him, he can do it, but you're not getting the best out of him, are you?
No. And you know what? The one thing that alarmed me most about this, because it's a thought I'd had before, but with nothing to go on, it was just a thought. We had 75% possession. We had 3 shots on target against a League One team.
That's not great.
It's still pre-season.
Yeah,
I can't take anything from these.
But that's fine. You should still be getting shots off, whether it's pre-season or not. You can have shots, can't you?
But they're tired. They've just come back from holiday.
We had 75% of the ball. We had 11 shots, 3 on target. The 2 goals we scored wasn't good goals. They was ricochets around the box that happened to fall to somebody. We didn't create anything. Their goalkeeper didn't make a save.
11 shots isn't terrible. I think, if anything, that just kind of tells us that they're still probably a bit rusty over the summer.
Yeah,
I have a real concern that we are going to go back to, if the opposition score a goal, we think the game's over.
That was some dark times. I really hope not. I had Maresca as a loser as well. I did have some similar grievances as Chris, actually, but my one was basically just around what Maresca said. So, like, literally just a few days ago, he said the squad was full of talent. You know, in the first press conference, like, you don't need, like, you know, don't take it from me. Go watch the press conference. He says it almost.
Yeah, but he didn't say what level.
He said the squad was full of talent, right? And then after the game yesterday, so what? A day later, he says he wants new additions to the team.
Yeah, but everyone says that, don't they?
But I get your point. These aren't mutually exclusive things, but I got a lot of whiplash from that, you know, because I was just like, well, do we have a good team? Do we have a team that's good enough, or don't we? And one of the biggest things that I've really kind of figured out over this, over watching a little bit of his football and watching the way he implements some of the team and what we've got with the squad and who we're trying to bring in as well, is that this whole like narrative of the squad being like tailor-made for him is just nonsense.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just total baloney. It's total nonsense. Like, we've got players who aren't going to be fitting in his system, and so we're going to have to get sold. We're going to have players who, for the club's own purposes and own reasons, players are going to get sold. We've got players who we still need to bring in. We've got arguably no one who's going to necessarily suit his style of play as a striker. There's these questions here about like, actually, is the squad tailor made for him? I would wager it's not.
my final loser is £4.99. As we didn't exclusively reveal on Monday's show, Chelsea are charging fans £4.99 to watch each pre-season game of the tour. There are many things that you can purchase for less than £4.99 that I feel are more value for money.
You must have got a list.
I have. I've got, first of all, this. You can get a double sausage and egg McMuffin. That's just £4.29.
Yeah, I would go for one of those over watching us play a pre-season game.
For 10p less than a pre-season fixture of Chelsea, you can get a Big Mac, £4.89.
Yeah,
I also found on
that
Amazon 3D Christmas cookie cutters for £2.89, and quite fun. Well, not fun. I mean, it's helpful. A trainer or a sneaker, depending on where you're from. A wash bag for £4.99. Could become an ongoing series where I just look at stuff under a fiver, but hey. That's what I found. And
wait until we sign a player. You know what you can buy for less than £25 million?
I could buy 5 jacuzzis, all hand signed by Michael Jordan. So, Ollie, you've got one loser left. Who is it?
It's much the same thing as you were saying, actually, Mikey. My losers are the ownership, and the reason is because the stadium was a third full.
They're still low. They're still rich.
due to their poor pricing policy, right? The stadium was a third full, and I just think how despicable is that as an ownership? Are you really that miserly? Are you really that tight-fisted that for a pre-season game, you're not only charging what was it, £4.99 to watch it, but actually to go there, you're charging like $30 or 30 quid or whatever it was. The food and the drinking in the stadium is always going to be ludicrously expensive as well. You're pricing the working man out of the working man's game. I just can't get behind it, Mikey.
No, I agree.
You know what's stupid about that as well? Like, we could go on all day about ticket pricing, and I don't think there's a bigger problem with ticket pricing in the world than in the Premier League. But pre-season, the idea of going on these pre-season tours to places other than the UK is to build the club's fan base. You're not going to do that if you don't get people in.
If you price people out of like buying tickets, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, and it should.
The thing is, as well, if you really wanted to, you could price like ridiculous for the food and the drink and whatever else. The concessions while people are there, because that's just kind of the tax you pay for going to a live sports event. But to try actually price people out getting in the door, that's despicable.
It should be really, really cheap. It should be like ridiculously cheap to get new fans in. So even people who aren't Chelsea fans now, but live in the area wherever you're going, you think, oh yeah, we'll go to that. We'll go see that.
Yeah, make it $5. Make it $5 to entry, and then just make a hot dog like $12, and you'll make $17 per person. Like, it's not hard. Like, these aren't difficult concepts to grasp. And it just like, it really tells me that the ownership. And for all the stuff we say about preseason, like that it doesn't matter, this just really does show for me that they know the price of everything and the value of nothing.
I'm pretty sure that the season tickets at like the Bundesliga was like something really, really cheap versus what it is in the Premier League. And
that's because they have the 50+1 rule.
Exactly.
Yeah, I seen one the other day. It was a ticket for West Ham was like £139, and in the Bundesliga you can get a season ticket for less than that.
You know what? I've just found a Dortmund season ticket. Now remember, this is category 4, so it's the lowest one. €507. That's definitely
it's hardly much, is it? Like by comparison, we could go on about ticket prices all day, but I don't support our ownership doing that kind of thing, especially on a preseason tour where it seems to be counter to the entire idea of it in the first place.
Yeah, 100%. Quaresma's questions, to answer some listener questions. It's very Wrexham heavy today. First up though, Peter has asked thoughts on the back three of Chilwell, Fofana and a Chompong in the second half. Disaster,
Awful.
he said. It was pretty bad.
I mean,
Absolutely dreadful.
Chilwell's not a centre back. Fofana, arguably, is not a central centre back. He's a right centre back. Achiampong, I thought, made a good account of himself for being a youngster who's barely ever played.
Oh yeah, yeah,
but
exactly.
like, if we ever see that back three in a Premier League game, I think I'd get an aneurysm.
I mean, I can't say that name.
Achiampong.
Achiampong. Look, he's a championship level defender. Of course he is. You've got another championship level defender and an injury prone one. Now you can decide which one of between Fofana and Chilwell is that. Look, I would say Fofana's the injury prone, unfortunately. We've already touched on Chilwell. That's a hot take. It was an awful back three. It was. It just didn't work. It really didn't. Yeah, he ain't wrong. The system, it didn't fit. As simple as that. Chilwell is not starting as a left centre-back or an inverted full-back for me under Maresca. Kukurea probably watched last night and just put his feet up and turned to his wife and went, see that? That's my competition.
You know, this is the thing about pre-season that I really don't understand. And I think it seems very, very pointless to... I understand that you're getting players up to fitness. But what's the point in playing players in positions that they're never going to play? Like you are right. You would never, unless we had a injury crisis, and they was literally the only three defenders we had.
A Chelsea level injury crisis.
Yeah, we will never ever see those three play together.
No,
ever. So, what's the point? None of them have learned anything from that game because they're playing next to people they're never going to play next to. I just think this isn't just Chelsea, this is pre-season in general. I understand from the fitness point of view that everyone has to play, but it just seems a bit silly to play them somewhere that they're never actually going to do it in a competitive game.
I think for me, it just shows you again, like what I was talking about with Maresca and how the squad is apparently tailor-made for him. Like if that was the case, he's not sticking Chilwell at centre-back, is he? Like, and I think that's a good example of where we're looking to kind of change the squad and mold it around Maresca. I don't know. It feels for me that seems to be the crux of it. That like it seems no matter what we do, we're always going to be in this situation where we're trying to like shoehorn players into certain positions because that's kind of the game we play when we sack a manager every year.
Yeah.
So like you're never going to have that tailor-made squad. No. It's just never going to happen because all these players have been bought for other coaches.
Next up, Rubicon has asked, do we actually care that we drew Wrexham? And they've put, honestly, I don't.
No, don't care.
No.
Honestly, it's a pre-season game. I never take stock one way or the other. I'm not buying. I'm not selling. That back three was bad, though. But we move on.
All you have to ask is, what's on the line? Nothing. So that's how much you should care. Nothing.
An appearance on Welcome to Wrexham. We did all right. Didn't get beat.
Right.
Finally, Alexander has asked, if you guys saw the full match or even the highlights, who was your best player?
Fucking hell.
You know what? I put down here, mine were all the fans who paid to watch the game because they're the real MVPs. And I know of one who had to purchase twice due to the crappy app being crappy. So shout out to that person. I'm pretty sure.
Shout out to that particular poor decision maker.
I was like, you spent £10 on that? Wow. Oh, no. Oh, we need to GoFundMe there. Marc,
I don't know.
Guiu?
Maybe, yeah, maybe Guiu.
Yeah.
Guiu.
I think you'd have to go with him.
Guiu.
Yeah. Guiu. I'm going to get that right all season long, aren't I?
Maybe Guiu. I think he was the one that certainly stood out the most. It surprised me the most.
Yeah, I'll back that 100%. So, Berth's not here, but we still go back onto the carousel. Oh, yes. We've got a ranking board, as always. Category, though, is Teenagers Scare the living shit out of my wallet. So, Chelsea are increasingly spending big money on promising youngsters, aren't we? But I want you to name the 20 most expensive teenage signings in history. And the rules are they have to have been 19 or under when signed. This does include add-ons. And all of this is according to Transfer Marks. I'd also like to add that there are 22 names in the top 20 since 4 are tied on the same fee. One of the players on here officially signed a few weeks before his 20th birthday. and yet wasn't on the original list on the Transfermarkt website, which I disagree with because he signed at the age of 19. Just because he made his debut for the club at 20, don't count. He signed as a 19-year-old. Just saying.
So this is most expensive teenagers who were 19 when they moved.
19 or less. Or younger, 19 or less. So, Chris, who's a player that's on this list?
Kylian Mbappe.
PSG 2018, 180 million.
Matthias de Ligt.
Oh, Juventus 2019, 85.5.
20. You said 20. There's 20 names, so
There are
the
22 names.
The bottom fees are going to be quite low, aren't they? Let's go with. Sorry. Did you say it includes this summer transfer window?
Yeah.
Okay. That Euro who's just gone to Man United.
You know what? Do you know his
it's a
first?
good shout.
I'll let you off without the first name. Man United 2024, 62 million. Lenny Euro.
I'll go with Vinicius Jr.
Oh, Real Madrid 2018, 45 million.
Good shout. Ollie's favourite player, João Felix.
João Felix cost 127.2 million for Atletico Madrid in 2019.
I'm going to go with Vinicius's counterpart, Rodrigo.
Real Madrid 2019, 39.3.
I'll carry on that theme then. Endrick.
Hendrick is indeed on here for 47.5 million.
Here's a good one. Anthony Martial.
Oh,
60 million in 2015.
God, that was.
I
way
doubt
too
all
much
those
money.
clauses were triggered.
Wayne Rooney.
Oh,
It's a good shout.
2004, 37 million.
Oh, I'm glad because back then transfer fees were so low. I thought he might have gone for
This
what
is
was
Euros.
big at the time.
This is Euros, by the way, just so everyone knows, because that's how transfer might work.
I'm going to go with Wesley Fofana, but not to Chelsea, to Leicester.
2020 for 35 million.
That's a great shout, Ollie, by the way.
Because he was 19 when he moved there, I think.
I'll tell you what. He was like a teenage sensation, so he must have gone for quite big money to somebody.
Oh,
Renato Sanchez.
Bayern 2016, 35 million.
I'll go with Estevan Willian, who we signed.
Oh, no, he's not on the list.
He's not
Chris-
on there.
Chris has lifted the trophy.
Go on, Chris.
He's lifted it. He's won. Well done,
that's a
Chris.
Hey.
I tell you.
Is he really not on there? I would have thought, because weren't we like 60 odd million euros quids in?
To be fair, considering
I think it was 30, but it was plus then like 25. But I thought it might be enough. Maybe it wasn't.
I'll double check because I can't trust the transfer mark list because you'll never believe one of the names that didn't include on the list. No one said him yet, which is annoying. 35 million euros.
Not quite.
Just out. He's just out. Oh,
For a teenager, it's very expensive, but just not
you
quite.
could
enough.
have had Archie Gray this summer, 41.25 to Spurs.
Yeah. I didn't. I actually didn't know he
yeah.
was a teenager still.
Dejan Kulusevski to Juve for 39 million. Fabio Silva to Wolves for 40.
Oh, of course, no, we didn't say Bellingham, did we?
That is the wild card. He signed just a few weeks before his birthday and they didn't include him. And I'm like, well, he was 19 when he signed.
Was Luke Shaw on there?
He was 37.5 million
Oh, he might
euros. Fabio Silva to Wolves for 40 million euros. Javier
What a
Saviola.
horrible signing that was.
Well, Saviola cost Barca in 2001, 35.9.
Jesus.
Wow.
Guardiola to Leipzig for 36.8. Usman Dembele to Dortmund for 35 million. Vitor Roque to Barcelona for 40 million. Yankuba Minte to Brighton this summer, 35. And there's a Chelsea player left. Cost us 62.1 million.
Lavia.
Lavia's on there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. And I'm going to roll out the show with Hazard's headliners because I just like doing this one. The clues get easier. You know the drill. Why are they in the news? Well, we'll find out if you get them right. So, first clue. This player made his full international debut in 2014 and later that year played for his country at the FIFA World Cup in 2014 and FIFA World Cup in 2018.
I know it. No, I don't.
How can we literally anybody?
Oh, do you know what? But Ollie was really convincing, and I thought,
I believe
fair fucking
that.
play.
Yeah, I believe that.
No, unfortunately not. I'm not clairvoyant.
He plays as he plays as a winger. Narrows that pool down.
No, it doesn't.
He has played with Juan Mata, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and former Hazard headliner Jack Rodwell at club level. He has played for 6 clubs, 3 of which he was on loan to, and those clubs are Dortmund, Sunderland, and Istanbul Başakşehir. Those were the loanee clubs.
Jesus.
If you don't get it by you, I thought that would give it away because of Sunderland. I really thought that would be like the giveaway.
Is it?
I was thinking of like a winger who played for Sunderland.
No, you said winger, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I ain't got a clue.
the 5th clue is the Belgian international burst onto the scene at Manchester United under David Moyes.
Is it Adnan Januzaj?
It's
Adnan Januzaj.
Adnan Januzaj, who has this week completed a loan move from Sevilla to Las Palmas. I'd forgot he even existed.
Oh,
Me too. He was supposed
yeah.
to be the next big thing once, wasn't he?
I can't believe he's 29.
I remember.
Wasted his career.
I remember when there was an outcry when he burst onto the scene of everyone saying, I think we should get him in the England team before he chooses Belgium. Oh my God, he had 2 good games, mate.
I mean, he could. Roy Hodgson did say, I did note that down as a little fact on here, was looking if he was going to be naturalised as a British citizen. But the teams he could have played for international level, obviously Belgium, Albania, Kosovo, Serbia, Turkey, and Croatia, and everyone was after him. Everyone was after him. He obviously,
this is what I mean now. One good game now, and you're world class.
One good game, and people getting the ancestry kits out.
Federico Makeda.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, to be fair, his honours include a Community Shield with United, a Copa del Rey with Sociedad, and a 3rd place medal for Belgium.
I think he was actually decent for Sociedad when he went to them for when he was there for a little while.
Well, yeah, he was there for a fair few seasons.
Yeah,
Isn't he playing like 3rd tier Italian football now?
Yeah, Las Palmas.
Yeah, that's La Liga. I just said that was the answer. That's why he's in the news.
Not Januzaj, Makeda.
Okay.
Hang on, we'll go on good old Google. Makeda, I've spelled his name wrong.
He's playing like Series C or something.
I put Makeda. Federico Makeda now plays in Turkey.
Oh, he's moved to Turkey. Turkey will sign anyone, won't they?
I think you might have remembered 2018 when he was at Navarra.
They've kind of successfully done the thing that that the Saudi League struggled to do, because they kind of did it on a smaller scale. They didn't sign like all the best talent, but like they've got a constant pipeline of Premier League and Championship rejects.
They have Michy Batshuayi. He is one of the best players that's ever won us a title. He scored the winning goal against West Brom, and for that, he's a hero. I
liked Batshuayi, to be fair.
He was just
I don't know why, I just liked him.
I mean, you could say, did he score many? Not many players do at Chelsea. It don't happen. So come on, let's be fair. He's also 30. He turns 31 this year. He's at Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Oh, that
went there from Fenerbahce, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he saw Mourinho turn up and went, nah.
He'll get a good reception.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he left this summer as well. He just saw fucking Mourinho there and he was like, oh, I've been there before. Don't want to do that again.
Talking of Chelsea strikers, I seen something the other day that I thought, is that true? And then you think about it and you think, yeah, it is. Since we sold Tammy Abraham, we haven't had a striker outscore his best season.
Wow, that's depressing.
Well, here's even more depressing. Since we sold Courtois, we haven't had a top level first choice goalkeeper.
That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
because Edouard Mendy came in as a backup.
Yeah,
he did.
I've also, a quick Google search has taught me that Jose Mourinho has never coached Batshuayi. So they always seem to leave the clubs when they each join. So
Speaking of Sunderland wingers, did you know Seb Larsson played for them?
For who?
So Sunderland as a winger.
Oh yeah. He used to play for Blues and Arsenal.
Yeah, he's played for Blues too. Yeah,
great free kick taker.
He was good at Blues.
Yeah, he was bloody good. Because then he went.
It's just remember him?
Oh yeah, remember him? Yeah, we love that. We should bring that back.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you as always for listening. Treat yourself well. We're back Monday. We've got pre-season on Saturday. I think it's Celtic. Probably isn't, but it's probably Celtic. So till Monday, that's us signing off. You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.